Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Tuambiane Ukweli. And today, before I begin, I just want to send a big shout out to every guy who supports me, every friend of mine who clicks on that link that I usually send, who shares my videos with their friends. I just appreciate it a lot. I know so many people would want to see this channel grow, and it's growing pole pole, one step at a time, and I really appreciate everyone who supports me. If you've not subscribed, the button is down there, and make sure you click that bell icon. There's usually a bell icon just next to it, so that every time I post, you'll just be notified. Anyway, on to today's topic. This topic is going to be a bit dicey and controversial per se, but, well, hapa watu tunaambiana ukweli, si ndio? And I want to speak about sponsors, sponsees, bentens, and all these shenanigans that usually go around. In this side of town, they are called sponsors, blesser, zaji, antiwaharia. And funny thing, even if we don't talk about it, these are our sisters, these are our cousins, these are our aunties, our brothers, our cousins that are engaging in this blesser, sponsor, sponsee kind of relationship. Personally, I will never support any kind of relationship where there's a sponsor and a sponsee, or benten and a cougar and all these things. I am not judge, okay? Me, I will not judge your decisions. You do you. So long as you're conscious and your decision is final, that is it. Sisi wengine, we can just give opinions. But then once you make that decision that you want to go that direction, these are a few things that you need to take note, okay? So that you come out the other side a winner as well. Because first of all, you need to remember that this is a transaction, okay? You are giving something and you're receiving something. That might be monetary, it might be favors for whatever reason, or whatever you're getting out of it. Just know that it is a transaction. And one day, it might take 4 years, it might take 5 years, it might take as long as it might take, but itakuja kuisha. This is not something that is sustainable. You need to remember that. But in the midst of all this, you know, when you're still enjoying this merrymaking and globe-trotting with your blesser, these are a few things you need to remember. Number one, never include the word love in this transaction. There is nothing like love between a sponsor, sponsee, blesser, blessee, or whatever you want to call them. Number two, this relationship will never work. That guy will never leave his wife, his family for you. So get that out. Get that out of your mind, kabisa. In all ways, when you think about it, it is ungodly and very immoral. You are a home wrecker. If this guy is married, you are wrecking that home. If that wife finds out that you are in the picture, you'll bring conflict between these two people. And you might be there saying, oh, then why did he approach me? Then why did he approach me? Ask yourself this. Then why didn't you say no? So if you decide to put aside your morals, put aside your character and your principle, this is what you need to do. You need to start saving. Don't go around globe-trotting and going around in shoppings, unapatiwa 10,000 or whatever amount, and you squander all of it. Think about your future. Acha kula 50, weka 50. Kula so, weka ingine. Because eventually, itaisha. And you don't want to be left hanging, start crying out, yeah, oh, this man, hey, taking advantage of me. Aren't you taking advantage of him right now? So, make the best of it. Never, ever, 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 ever try to get in touch with the wife. If you have decided that this is where you want to be, stay in your lane. Stay in that corner of yours until that time when this thing is over. You need to remember that you are a home wrecker. So stay in your lane. Stay in your side. Yani, do not even think about this guy having a family. Wachana na yo notion kabisa na ukae mbali now as far as you can. That leads me to my next point. As much as you can, Kama jamaa anaishi Kitisuru, wewe enda uishi Rongai. If this guy is living in Syokimau, enda uishi Uthiru. As in, the distance between you and his house should be so far that chances of you interacting with the wife, the children, the family are 0 to none. Then, as you live there, make sure that that house that you are living in, you can afford it once he leaves you. Not even if it is when. Huyu jamaa asikupeleke Lavington, akuweke kwa nyumba unalipa 75,000 and then akikuacha when you are in trouble. Go to a house where you know you can afford once he leaves. And in the process of you being in that relationship or transaction, save. Ukipewa star unaweka unakula 800 una save so mbili. Like that. That's just what I'm talking about. And we were having such a conversation with a friend of mine, and she was telling me how I don't know if the ladies who are in this transaction are usually wanafungangwa macho. Sijui kama mnaendeanga kwa mganga, but I would suggest whatever thing he buys you, make sure it is under your name. Kuwa mjanja mdemu. Kuwa mjanja. If he decides to furnish your whole house, mmeenda pale ShopRite ama mmeenda Carrefour, and he decides to spoil you silly with high-end, furniture and all this, make sure it is under your name. If he decides to buy you a car, make sure the logbook says your name there. If he decides to buy you a house, make sure the lease says your name. Listen, this guy will leave when? Put that in the back of your mind. This guy will leave eventually. Usiachwe hapo hanging. Because most of you ladies, you know that eventually when this guy leaves and anakuacha hanging, you'll be all over crying how this guy has used you. You'll be crying all over how this guy has taken advantage of you. You'll be crying all over how he has left you with one child and doing what not. Because you can be in such a relationship for like 2 years, but then once he leaves, and then you count like 6 months after he has left, you go back to where you were before he came into your life, and it just baffles me how such scenarios usually happen. Another point, try your best to invest in yourself. As in, invest in your career, go to school if you can, invest in a business, your own business, invest in savings. Because eventually, like I have said it before, itaisha. Someday, sometime in the near future, it will come to an end. Invest in yourself, invest in a business somewhere. If you can go to school, get that degree, go and do it. Another point is this: never, ever threaten to expose this guy. Do not even think about it. Do not take nudes. Do not screenshot your conversations and try to send to, I don't want to mention his name, hide my identity guy. Don't. If you've decided that this is the life that you want to lead, if this is the choice that you've made, live with it. Live with it and live with it in your conscience. Ikiisha, imeisha. This is because some men out here, some of your sponsors and your blessers, do not have the patience of being exposed. Do not have that luxury of being exposed. If being exposed will mean it will interfere with his business, it will interfere with his position, trust you me, that guy will not allow it to happen. All in all, you need to remember that I have no right to judge and I have no right to condemn. You do you. But make sure you come out of it a winner. Or somehow. So I will condemn the act. Working for your own money, no matter how small it is, no matter where you live, hata kama unaishi kwa a single room, but your principle is right, your character is right, you know that nobody is taking advantage of you. Don't you think that's the best feeling ever? Come to think of it, this short-term microwave approach to life is never sustainable. And finally, don't forget your family. While you are out here globe-trotting, unaenda, you're just all over the place, don't forget your family. Rushia mother yako kakitu, rushia bro yako kakitu pia. They might not know what you're doing, but remember your family. They'll pray for you and hope the best, but don't forget about them. And if you are a beneficiary of this such kind of a transaction, I would really like to hear from your own point of view. Kindly get in touch with me down there. My number is down there. I'd like to hear how you go about it, how you went about it, how you navigated through these murky waters. So get in touch with me. Hapo chini nimeacha number. So that is all I had for you today. I hope it has enlightened your mind, given you a different perspective to this topic. Thank you so much for those guys who support me, who have subscribed to the channel. If you have not subscribed, by the way, the button is down there, and make sure you click that bell icon so that you get notified every time I post. I usually post once a week. I usually try my best to post once a week. Sometimes I might stretch it, but it's usually once a week. Thank you so much, na tuambiane ukweli.